Hello everyone, this is Overmind, and welcome back to a sort of StarCraft replay cast. This is actually a game that my friend Raynadon got to play in with Day 9, but it is a Monobattle. You will note that there are some units being picked here on the screen, for example the High Templar, the Banshee, the Carrier, etc. These are units that each player will be assigned one of, and they can only build that thing. You see a Widow Mine coming down here, that's going to be one of our units. And you can see that these players don't actually know what race they're going to be playing as, that's why this looks so odd. We've got probes, drones, and SCVs all stacked up over here, as well as all of the base units. And here we have Day 9 requesting some early game stuff. He seems pretty psyched to play. Looks like siege tanks are going to be in the mix. And looks like someone got Marauders. Lots of good stuff happening here. I'm going to go ahead and speed up just a little bit. We got Tempest. A lot of these seem like they're late game units, aside from just a couple things. But it looks like we're just about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, here I have for you a Monobattle! Spawning our blue Terran player. It's going to be Leviathan. Here we have our green Terran player, Raynadon. Yeah, Raynadon. Here we have the ever-popular, the ever-infamous Day 9. Our orange Terran player, Zelda's Creed. And on the opposite team, we have purple Jag Slash. We have this charcoal Tomcat. We have the Foilist. It's going to be a Protoss player. And we have Caliban. Now, I just want to go ahead and note that I don't think we have any Zerg players. If I open the production tab, which I should probably never do again for the rest of this cast, because it is taking up all of my screen. Literally all of my screen will be taken up if I open this later in the game. We do see barracks, early game stuff going down. Of course, this doesn't really help a lot of these players because a lot of them don't have early game units. So they can't do much with this. Which is why I'm speeding along the game a little bit. We are going to see lots of probes, SCVs, supply depots, pylons, refineries, assimilators, gateways, etc. being thrown down. And that's the last time we're going to see that tab open. Day 9 is going to go ahead and be the only one who remembers to scout. I'm sorry, the only one who remembers to proxy. Because proxying is pretty awesome. But also because maybe he'll hide something over there. Zelda's Creed, going to go ahead and get that mine going. Get gas up. Raynadon has his barracks. Getting a factory up. He actually managed to get Banshees. We have Day 9. Very mischievous today. Stargate is building. Day 9 got carriers. So as you might expect, he's anxious to get some of those building. And you can see the only button that he is able to press is the carrier button. We'll go ahead and note that Tomcat was nice enough to get Marines. So probably just going and attacking with Marines, even this early, even with such a small amount of them, might actually be a good idea. If only because pretty much everyone else is going to have nothing except for, well, probes and SCVs. Which isn't terrible. Day 9 getting up his fleet beacon. He's gonna start making a carrier as soon as he isn't supply blocked. We see the game starting to proceed along. Raynadon gonna go ahead and make his very first Banshee, and he's gonna work on Cloak. So we can see that everyone's starting to get their late game units a bit more. Day 9's probes just gonna hang out here. Raynadon taking an expansion, as is Jag Slash. And the Foilist. Oh, and Tomcat as well. So lots of people taking expansions. Many of them not on Day 9 and Raynadon's team. Day 9 himself going to go ahead and take an expo here. We have Zelda's Creed going to go ahead and take an expo to this gold, but not going to bother killing this because that takes way too much time. We definitely just want the minerals from here. And to be quite honest, the income from these bases is high enough that it might not even matter. I'm going to go ahead and say that Zelda's Creed has a very, very cool clan symbol. and be distracted by that for a moment. Looks like we have Widow Mines. Oh, we have our Widow Mines. Those are going to be produced for us by Caliban. We'll see what he winds up doing with those, because Widow Mines, of course, would need to either be positioned well so that they can hit things, or they need to actually chase down units, which sounds terrible. So we'll see what happens there. Day 9 with his carrier is going to be over here. We're going to go ahead and attack this one cannon who's actually getting a decent number of kills on those interceptors. And we'll see if one cannon beats one carrier. I don't think it does. No, it is not going to. So Day 9's going to go ahead and start harassing those probes as much as possible. These Marines over here are going to be a problem, though. Are they going to get it? Run, Day 9, run! Alright. Oh, Tempest coming out! Tempest being quite good versus carriers, especially with that nice long range. I think Day 9's gonna lose this one. Marine's gonna go on up and try and help out a little bit. Widow Mine scurrying every which way. Looks like some of them have positioned themselves in front of areas where you could see attacking Banshees over here from Raynadon. Gonna kill some of those Marines. Gonna go ahead and avoid those annoying cannons over here and just start attacking this base. Tempest over here is going to try and make something happen, but there is no detection aside from the cannons. I'm just going to make that a pretty powerful unit, since nothing can see it. Day 9 does have another carrier, gonna move him on back. I think this base is gonna fall. Many bases are going to go ahead and build turrets at this point, which is probably a good idea. Day 9 did actually manage to keep this carrier alive, although I don't know what he could attack without being hit by a turret. Haha, possibly this nice barracks that's floating on over here as a scout. We do have these Banshees coming on home victorious. Defensive bunker over here for Leviathan. So far, a pretty calm game. These Widow Mines are going to go ahead and sneak out to the middle of the map near this watchtower, just to make sure they can get any kills that they can. I wish I could see these be a little bit more active, maybe head towards the front of an opponent's base. We have 3 Tempests over here. I'm gonna go ahead and try and open up the units tab, you guys. Hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, cool. 2 carriers from Day 9. 8 Banshees from Raynadon. Leviathan has 20 Marauders. Zelda's Creed, 7 Siege Tanks. 3 Tempests from Jagslash. Tomcat with 28 Marines. The Foilist with 11 High Templar. And Caliban with 16 Widow Mines. So everyone here looking pretty deadly, pretty scary. Day 9 just floating that wounded carrier on back. A fleet of Banshees heading on around. Tempest also on the prowl. Everyone's starting to get a little restless as the number of bases available to be taken grows smaller and smaller. I actually worry about this proxy that Day 9 has here, as well as proxies over here for the Foilist. We'll see how long before things start to engage those scary proxies. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up until there's just a little bit more action, so I know everyone is kind of frightened. We do see siege tanks moving out, but the Tempests are there. That's going to be a problem. Definitely do not want to lose everything. Tempest, Day 9, gotta rush to the rescue. Which might not be too hard since carriers... I don't know if this is a good idea. Tempest probably could have just taken that. But gonna go ahead and run away from the fear and the fury of Day 9. Just gonna go ahead and take down these rocks. Very gentlemanly-like for Zelda's Creed. Banshees roaming about. Widow Mines. Oh. Okay, Cloak. Cloak's gonna save it. Scans going down every which way. Scans being quite invaluable for our Terran players. Gotta be careful. Would be so bad if those went off. Get 'em! Go team! So there's lots of encouragement going on. Zelda's Creed gonna go ahead and build this off to the side, even though he could be lined up. Might want to pull those tanks behind cannons. Probably a good idea. Everyone working together, having a good old time. Repairs going down on the Banshees. Tempest wiggling around the map. Very close with the Marines. Still think the Marines is just an incredibly lucky thing to get. Looks like this command center, these command centers are either going to go ahead and be planetaries or they're going to go ahead and be expansions. Not sure what's going to happen with that just yet. We shall see though. Units moving every which way. Day 9's carrier is going to get pretty close to those Marines. Oh my gosh. Alright, an engagement. Looks like there's going to be a lot of Marine deaths here. That looks like that's what's going to happen. Raynadon and Day 9 pretty handily killing those. I don't even know that they lost a unit. Uh-oh. Tempest. Ooh, Tempest. Tempest being quite scary only because of that range. Mini a Widow Mine, mini a Tempest, shooting away at Raynadon's fleet. It's going to back on up. Lots of High Templar. I don't believe that they can morph into Archons. They have to be High Templar. Now we have this awkward expansion next to expansion with an attempt at landing an expansion. So really 3 people vying for this. Leviathan, Raynadon, and Caliban. All gonna try and mine from this place. Maybe they can learn to coexist in harmony. Or maybe people from Team Day 9 are just going to mine from here and Caliban's gonna back off. Caliban going to get a kill if anyone ever comes to this watchtower. Definitely gonna happen. And it looks like it does. Requests for trading of resources going on. Let's join forces and doom push. And he pings the critical areas. You do have to be careful because these High Templar have a lot of energy and are very, very scary. Also have to be careful of the very, very scary Widow Mines. Watch out. Oh god. Scary. I think this is going to be okay, especially with Widow Mines not necessarily focusing down carriers, but instead trying to kill those interceptors. And then the rest of the army can sweep in to clean this up, so very good team effort from everyone right there. Yeah! You can see the lag happening as we try and speed along through here. The High Templar decide to retreat along with a series of Widow Mines. Oh no, the Widow Mines are actually going to go ahead and go out. They're going to take on this whole army. You have a pretty big attack here from Raynadon's Banshees on this base. Gonna go ahead and chase down those tasty, tasty probes. We're just gonna go over to the base next door. And here we have Leviathan joining in the fight, killing off all of those delicious, delicious probes. Day 9 himself going to go ahead and take the engagement with the Tempest, which I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Tempests are pretty dang good. I think the Widow Mines did some damage to the Tempest because of those interceptors, though, so I don't know, that might have been sort of the anti-teamwork there. Zelda's Creed gonna go ahead and bomb that one assimilator back to the Stone Age. Leviathan grouping on up. And everyone's sort of wiggling about. Raynadon's actually in the main base for his opposing team. Probably could do well to kill off, say, the Templar Archives for this person, since that's all he can make. Gonna go ahead and try and avoid those storms, though, which is a good idea. Yeah, get those Templar Archives. Losing a Banshee, but that's okay. Action going on all around. These Tempests proven to be very deadly, especially versus Marauders, which do not have the will to shoot up, not raise their weapons. and aren't heading directly away from the Tempest, so are going to take big losses. Siege tanks have a similar problem, that they also can't shoot up, so those Tempests are a real problem. They're going to go ahead and roll over the minefield, which does help clear things up for other team members, although not completely, since whew, lots of kills for those Widow Mines. Lots of fighting going on here. The Marauder's just going to go ahead and push at these pylons, despite all of these Tempests killing them. Which is possibly not the best idea ever, but... Marines versus Marauders. Although the Marines have the support of the Tempest, so probably going to go to the Marines, but still going to at least do a little bit of damage here. Day 9, going to go ahead and take these expansions. The High Templar trying to challenge it with some storms, but going to go ahead and have a lot of... Oh, that's so many storms. Oh, that's so many storms. Fortunately, not too much damage goes down there. Wow. That was, did you see the flying body parts, you guys? That was what siege tanks do against mass marines. So that's what's gonna happen there. We do have one pylon here for the foilist, which, we'll see if anything happens with that. He is the one, I believe, who can only make High Templar, so he could morph in, or warp in a High Templar there and storm the probes, I guess, but we'll see what happens. The carriers have arrived over on this side of the map. I'm gonna go ahead and take out all of the supply depots, and probably Caliban's base. Oh no, looks like they're gonna go ahead and back up a little bit. Just a little bit. Additional carriers moving on in. Raynadon working that Banshee count back up. Lots of scans going down back and forth. Raynadon can go ahead and kill off some cannons, but we'll have some trouble with the temp with this because, let's face it, for some reason, Banshees can't shoot at air level either. Doesn't make sense, doesn't have to. Not going to be able to take this out all of the way because they... Oh, Raynadon calling for scans, oh my gosh! So many burrowed Widow Mines! And many a Tempest as well. We have lots of those dying. Lots of Tempests being about. I believe Day 9 is just out of range building more interceptors. But his base is probably going to, yep, fall. This is just such overkill. Kill the pylon quickly! Oh, that's so much killing. Over here we have storms going down on the Marauders, which is going to be pretty effective until the Marauders march up and kill all of the High Templar. Then the Tempests are going to kill the Marauders, and everyone's just going to kill everyone in turn. Death to this base. Looks like there is an achievement that has been earned called Downtown, which has been earned by Jag Slash. Raynadon is going to go ahead and break up these bases over here. Looks like Tomcat has a mining base over here at this high yield. If you can continually scan those Tempests, so I can be in position, that would be dope, says Day 9. Marauders really getting picked on by these Tempests. It's very hard when a unit can't fire up at units that can, or rather can fire down and fly. High Templar, being on out, being awesome. Wandering around a little bit. Day 9 excited because they do appear to be winning at this point. I love the Terran sharing the space here. That's Leviathan and Raynadon. Just both gonna go ahead and mine at this. Gonna go ahead and attack the front. Raynadon and Day 9 taking out this very important tech here. Or maybe not that important, I don't know, since they can't build only one thing. Going on in, wrecking stuff in the main. Looks like the Widow Mines are... Oh, production facilities being killed. Siege tanks gonna go ahead and siege on up to help this. Looks like there's going to be some rebuilding going on for our Protoss player over here, but mostly just pylons. I think this probe might be trapped within his own pylon cage. Is he spelled a 9 with pylons. That's oh my gosh. The Tempest. The Tempest being incredibly difficult to deal with. They're ruining the 9! Alright, good. Someone noticed in the game. That's good. Banshee's killing stuff over here. This is just going to be a lot of things killing other things at this point, which is what we want. It's what we like. It's what we need. Day 9 moving every which way. Raynadon moving every which way. Avoid a base ray. Day 9 has an established base over here. Looks like they do find Tomcat's base. And they're saying get purple now, which is the one producing all of the Tempests. Caliban with the never surrender. That's right, Caliban. Never ever surrender. It'll make people mad on the ladder, but it'll make you happy. Yeah. Caliban does have a base over here, in spite of it being mined almost completely by probes. Purple is going to go ahead and move on over. Oh, that is the loudest noise ever. And he's going to go ahead and try and take back this base. Purple being the big, scary threat at this point, although the Team Day 9 has been winning this pretty soundly. Looks like Raynadon's going to take another expansion. We do have more attacking going on by the Tempest. Day 9 not yet engaged. Day 9 yells attacks! These siege tanks are not going to stand any chance just sitting there. Raynadon moving in. Day 9 slowly moving in, although that's how carriers go. Lots of this getting cleaned up by siege tanks. You can see that the color purple is not going to work out for much longer. This pylon goes down, depowering most of purple's buildings. Oh, and it looks like you can make detection. So I guess that's cool. You can make detection, so that does help make it a little bit more fair. But really just detection and then your one unit, which for purple is Tempest. They do have this very large Tempest force that they need to go ahead and clean up. Out of minerals, says Tomcat. Tomcat still has a pretty decently large base here, although he's not really making too much as far as I can see. I'm gonna try and open the production tab, you guys. Oh, it's not that bad. Alright, so we have Raynadon making a bunch of Banshees. Day 9 making a forge and pylons. People not making too much because a lot of their stuff is dying. So that's probably why that isn't such a scary tab to open. Day 9 gonna go ahead and fly about. Oh, the Tempests! Tempests are chasing him. Tempests are very, very scary. Starport gonna go ahead and fly after the Tempests, because that is the direction of safety. Raynadon gonna clean up a lot of this base. I think the big challenge is just going to be killing off all of these Tempests. There are so very many of them. Probe's gonna go ahead and kill this base. Day 9 kills the base with probes. Leviathan over here. Find floating buildings. Our hopes and dreams ride on you. And there they are. Alright. Now these buildings must be found and killed, but they've been found by a person with units who can't fire up. Unfortunately, the Tempests are out of position. It looks like they're going to go ahead and base race, but there are far too many buildings. GG Day 9 probes, someone noticing how valiantly they've been killing things off. There's a building going to go down here, and it looks like there's one over here. Of course, Banshees cannot do anything about this. There are going to be some interceptors from this carrier who are going to be able to clean this up. The only anti-air. Go flying dudes! And now Raynadon can help. What do we have left in the structures tab? 2 barracks and an orbital. Let me open that. 2 barracks for the other team. So we're looking for 2 barracks. Oh my, the Tempests. The Tempests have reappeared. The Tempests are going to go ahead and make a dent in Day9's base. Just need to find 2 more barracks and kill them. But I think it's pretty much won. Everyone leaves the game. Everyone had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time watching. I certainly did. Thanks so much to Day9 for putting on Monobattles and for being awesome. Thank you to Raynadon for sending me your replay after you've gotten so lucky as to get to play with Day9. Jealous. Anyway, thanks so much guys and have a good night.